way to the geometry course. You found it on Schoology. We're going to visit right now what you need to do to be successful and how to complete this course and what my expectations are. Here is your geometry course. It says accelerated. I'm using the same video for accelerated geometry because you do the same things. We just have different expectations between the two of them. First off, notice there are MTs. That stands for measurement target for those of you who aren't in CA. Those are kind of like our units when we look through them. Now, if you click inside an MT, you're going to see some LTs. LT stands for learning target. Those are kind of, sorry about that, I don't know what happened there. Those are kind of like your lessons. On the calendar I've got, you will complete each lesson. When you start, I would suggest you print off this formula sheet if you have access to a printer. If you don't have access to a printer because you're working online, save it to your desktop so you can have a quick review. You can use this as you work on your assignments and you work on your quizzes and tests. Formula sheets, I don't make you memorize a bunch of formulas. There's some formulas I'm going to ask you to memorize, but that's all you'll do. And each LT, I've got what I want you to learn, how I want you to learn it, what I want you to learn are the content standards, what I want you to learn are how I want you to learn are the practices, and the objectives are what you're going to be doing there. If you click on inside the LT, we'll click on LT1 for right now. The way I would like you to do this is there's a seminar. Seminar are videos. They come in parts. If you have access to a printer, print off that seminar. What I write down, I want you to write down. If you don't have access to a printer, then watch the video and take notes in your notebook. If you have a question and you're in CA, the first thing I'm going to ask is to see your seminar sheet and make sure it's filled out. And that will go for the other instructors. If I'm not available and you ask another instructor for help, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to say, hey, let me see your seminar so I can point out where that is to you. You do not need to turn in seminars. That's for your own learning. I don't collect those. I don't expect you to submit those or anything like that. Now, the assignments, I do expect you to submit. So if you click in here, it says MT1 LT assignment. Well, if I click on that, it's going to pull up, and then there is a PDF of your assignment. Once again, if you're in CA, print it off, do it, and hand it in. And we might not walk up and hand it in. You just might wait to the end of the class and then give it to me on your way out as you're doing it. If you're working on this at home, then just do it in your notebook. Do the work in your notebook, take a picture, and I suggest you use your camera for this, and then submit it to Schoology. There's an app called Tiny Document Scanner. That's a free app you can use. You can use your document camera, but I got to be able to see the assignment. If you just hold it, a foot away from your document camera, I've got to be able to see your assignment. Now, how do you know how you did? Well, first of all, you're going to submit it to me. But before you submit it, here's what I want you to do. Below each assignment, I've got the solutions. So you can check. So you should not be turning in anything that's not 100%. Now, I do have to say that there will be a couple questions. The answer sheet's going to say there are multiple correct answers. That one I'm going to check myself. If there's more than one correct answer for a problem, I don't put any answers on the answer sheet. So you're going to have to do those yourself, and then I'll have to take a look at those. My expectation is you get 100% on this because I'm giving you the answers, with maybe an exception of the ones that have multiple correct answers. At that point, I'll look at that. If you don't understand how to do it, even after you check the solutions, and it's okay to check the solutions if you're not getting it to see if you can figure out, but that's where you're going to send me an email or you're going to come up and talk to me and say, hey, I have a question. Now, if you're working this at home online, send me an email, tell me the name of the assignment, like MT1, LT1, say, hey, I don't get number 4. Or MT1, here's my work, and I don't understand why it's wrong. Because really, I want you to try it first so I know what's not going right for you. Now, affirmations, your Mastery Connect quizzes. We are totally doing the assignments. We're not skipping anything. I know last year we went to distance. We actually, my students didn't have to do any of the Mastery Connect quizzes. But when you get to like LT3, there's a seminar. Notice right here in the bottom there's an affirmation. If you click on the affirmation, it's going to say, it's going to be on an ALEKS. All your affirmations are in ALEKS, so you're going to have to log into ALEKS to do them. Do your work on a separate piece of paper because you need to get mastery on this. For CA students, it's a 3. For online students, it's a 2 because you have less support at home. So we're going to set that up as we work through those. However, when you submit me your answers, now ALEKS is going to give you a score, but it's not going to give you any partial credit. If you mistype something, it's going to count it wrong. That's why you want to submit your answers to me, your work, I should say. So submit every affirmation. I expect to see some work on your problems, and it's for your benefit, not for anybody else. The expectations is to finish this class in a semester. Over on the side, I've got what I want you to do. I want you to work ahead as much as you can. But by Tuesday, I want the initial knowledge check done on ALEKS and MT1, LT1. Now, right as I'm making this video, you don't have access to ALEKS because they haven't uploaded your data. But as soon as you upload your data, I will send you your username and password. Do the initial knowledge check. Some of you might not have to do the initial knowledge check. If you did ALEKS last year and you finish it like at the end of the year, when you open it up, you might not have to do it. Most of you are going to have to do it though. So you do the initial knowledge check. Initial knowledge check is exactly what it is. I just want to see what you know. When you work through this, then keep these paces in mind. If you're getting behind, we need to talk. If you're in CAA, you're going to be in homework club. Now, I'm not going to make a big deal if you're behind 1 day or maybe even 2 days, but you're going to have to do some work. You need to spend 90 minutes a day working on geometry. And if geometry is hard for you, then you might have to work a little bit harder or a bit longer to get these done. Now, I don't want you spending 6 hours on it either. So we'll need to talk if you're having a real tough time with that. I'm making one video for both accelerated and regular, so regular is going to have different goals on the side. Now, if you're in CAA, notice there's a pacing thing. Let's say you don't start at the beginning because you did a different class, or you're going to work on this class. This class is a skinny. Well, then if you click on the pacing, I've got those there. That's a calendar for you. The calendar on the side is to finish in a semester, assuming you started right away at the beginning. When we click on our grades, here on the side, where's our grades? Oh, Mr. Branswood must not have any grades. But there'll be grades on the side. I don't know why they're not there. I'm using Mr. Branswood's course just so you can see it, but there'll be a grade link on the side because he's technically not a student, I guess. And I'm going to record all your scores in Schoology. They will not show up on campus. You're going to do your work. Those of you who are in accelerated geometry, it says geometry on campus, but you're in accelerated geometry, they'll be transcripted as accelerated geometry when you complete the course. What we're going to do after you do each unit, I was going to have you 15 skills in ALEKS. Now, this is where you have some choice in how you do this. I would not wait to the end and do 15 skills. I would maybe do each day, start off and do 1 or 2 skills so you don't have to do 15 when you finish the unit. Because, and then if you're in regular geometry, it's going to say 12. So you have to do 12 after each unit. ALEKS is kind of your cumulative review. It might be a preview of things that come up. If you get a knowledge check and you have to revisit those, you have to revisit those. Those are not part of your 15 skills each unit. So you have to do 15 skills in ALEKS at the end of each unit. And I would, like I suggest, I would do 1 or 2 a day, and then when you get to the end, finish it up until you meet your goal of 15 or 12. Now, I'm sure you have questions, but I tried to make this video so you understand what you have to do. But if you don't understand what you have to do, that's where we're going to use email. If you're in CAA, talk to me. Ask me questions. I'm here to help you. I'll probably be walking around to check on how you're doing in CAA. But at home, if you have questions, I expect an email every day from you about what's going on, whether that email might be saying, hey, I got it finished or not. When you do an affirmation, affirmations or quizzes, final affirmation or test, you must submit your assignment before I open the affirmations up for you. So when you do that LT3 affirmation, when that shows up, once you submit the assignment, then it'll open the quiz for you. At the end of the unit, there'll be a final affirmation. If you're in CAA, you're going to do that on paper. I'll give it to you on paper. If you're at home, it'll be online, and then you'll still have to take a picture of your work and submit it to me just like a regular affirmation. The only thing will be a little bit longer. Hopefully I've got you a good start for what you need to do. If I don't have a good start, send me an email and tell me what you're lost on. The first thing I want you to do is the initial knowledge check, but I've got to send you the username and password. So if you don't have the username and password, you can start on MT1 on geometry. You'll need access to Alex once you take your first affirmation in LT3, so we'll get that going, and it should be within a day or two. But I'm not in charge of making accounts for you, so I can't give you access until I get access.